Good morning, everybody. What's up, Spikelings? Back to another amazing September in the Shark Typhoon. I'm your current trophy leader, only by one now. Prince got a trophy last night, on stream even. I'm your current trophy leader and the only streamer who cares about you, Aspiring Spike. Here for a quick lesson in getting trophies at MTGO. 1, be good at Magic. 2, play leagues with a decent deck. And 3, gift a sub for September. Yes, it's that easy. To demonstrate my foolproof method, watch me work my magic with mono green Eldrazi for the low cost of free. Praise Toski. So I've got a very exciting deck for today, right? Yeah, I played against you last night, K Doris. I only played 3 matches with this deck last night, but it felt really good. I ended up beating Black-Red, ended up beating Blue-Red Murktide, and losing a close one to Blue-Red Murktide. And then I went back to writing my article. I made some changes for today, but this is very clearly, if you've been watching the stream for a few weeks, inspired by the mono-green Stompy shell that I've been working on, right? Where, in that deck, I've been really liking this formula of a low land count with 8 Hierarchs and a lot of cantrips. In that deck, I was playing Oath of Nissa and Abundant Harvest. Been really impressed by Abundant Harvest. But in this deck, we're kind of playing Stirrings over Oath of Nissa, which I think is a more powerful cantrip one. And then you know, I like Oath of Nissa kind of felt like the worst card of the mono green Stompy deck at times. But Ancient Stirrings, I think, is going to compensate in that power a bit. And then it's also like I was liking this formula of the mono green Stompy deck, but Predator Ooze and Hex Drinker specifically felt like really underwhelming to me. And I just kept finding myself wishing that there was something a little bit better. And so I think that the Eldrazi package is going to be an upgrade for this archetype, but I'm pretty excited about this. Yeah, and then just the 8 Hierarchs just feel so good in this archetype. I was actually really impressed by Rancor yesterday too. So playing 1 Toski, the mana curve of our deck really looks like more like this. But I guess we could just go ahead and jump into some games. I'm pretty excited for this deck today. Opponent has revealed Yorion as companion. So I think I keep this and put back the Prismatic Vista. 2/2 split Harvest Oath of Nissa. I've been playing a lot of Abundant Harvest in the mono green mono green Stompy deck that I've been playing on stream a bit. I don't know if you guys have seen any of that deck, but in that deck I'm like very confident that Harvest is the best cantrip. I was playing 4 Harvest, 4 Oath of Nissa in that deck, and in that deck again I was feeling very confident that Harvest was the best cantrip. It's kind of interesting. I think I played Matter Reshaper Hierarch here. Yeah, Harvest really felt like the better cantrip than Oath of Nissa. It's like a lot of times you'd Oath of Nissa and you would find a land and not a creature when you were looking for a creature, and vice versa. But again, Harvest always finds you what you want to find. YCF, thank you for your 3 months. Appreciate ya. Stoneforge seems good against us. Sword of Hearth and Home. Okay, we can beat that one. Smasher? I guess so, yeah. So I think we attack with both our Eldrazi this turn, and next turn we can go 3rd Hierarch, Rancor the Smasher, attack for a ton. Has Temple been with all the green pips? It's our only colorless land in the deck. We also have 1 Yavimaya to help it tap for green. I think it's been fine. You also have like a million Hierarchs to help with green mana. What are my thoughts on the green-white variant of this deck with Stoneforge? I think that if you want to play the 8 Hierarchs, you can't play it. You can't splash a color. And I don't think Stoneforge offers enough, or I don't think any other color offers enough to like get off of like the 8 cantrips, 8 Hierarch formula. Also, you get Strangleroot Geist in this deck, and Strangleroot Geist is great in Modern. This card is really good. Toast Recon, 4 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Really surprised that my opponent feels like they're able to attack here. If you get a land, you can sack the Oasis and Rancor. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, I know the Strangleroot Geist seems strange, but I've been playing a lot of it in the other mono green deck, and the card is really strong. The card is like very resilient to most of the removal in the format. Even if they prismatic ending it, They like that you still get in damage with it. The haste is like so good in an aggro deck like this. Strangleroot has been really good. Okay, we did draw the land, so we can go. Yeah, you just go Rancor Oasis. I'm not gonna play around Path. Let's go. So I'm gonna bring in the gut shots. Probably bring in the first copy of Choke. I don't think I'm playing Collector Ouphe. Yeah, I did see Rite of Harmony. I'm pretty excited by that one. Probably a matchup where we trim endurances. Maybe we could play one Collector Ouphe over the first endurance. Is it better to Rancor Reshaper? I think we get him. Oh, because we're not playing the other Hierarch, it was more damage to Rancor Reshaper. Yeah. We ended up winning either way, I think. Gotta go fast though. Maybe on the play, I'll play the second Choke over like the first Ouphe. I don't know, those get Cauldron though. Yeah, I can play the Choke. Tricks, thank you for tier 1. Appreciate you. Yeah, finally I'm learning to embrace the Matter Reshaper. We actually played like a bunch of like blue-green Eldrazi on the stream back when Oko was legal. And you know, maybe Oko was hard carrying that deck, hard to say. Probably a keepable hand. Does probably need to draw something to do next turn. We've got 2 draw steps, and most of our deck costs, you know, most of our deck is playable in the first couple turns. We can also draw an Eldrazi Temple to turn 2 Seer. How does this deck play against control? Pretty well. You've got a lot of like really resilient threats. You have a lot of haste threats.
Me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
You also have like really good top decks with like your relatively low land count and cantrips. Right, great draw. I love the turn 2 Strangleroot Geist Rancor draws. All right, Flame Channeler, 2 mana. When a spell you control deals damage, transform. When a spell you control deals damage, put a flame counter on it, and then you can remove a flame counter to exile top card and play it. That card is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not playing Cavern in this deck. I don't think you can play the Caverns with the Rancors and Endurances. So, you do lose points in the control matchup because of that, but I'm not really bothered. Well, I think I'm going to turn to Thought-Knot Seer. It's never steered me wrong before. Yeah, with 8 Hierarchs, your turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer is just like, you have so many more of these. I think I have to take this Soul Herder. Yeah, I've played enough of this matchup to understand that, like, or these kinds of matchups from the other side, to understand that you just, like, the unchecked Soul Herders are so dangerous. I think these are Secret Lair basics. I definitely chose them. I feel like for this deck, I feel like the colorless look of them feels really good in the Eldrazi deck. I also have the really nice basic wastes. Is Prismatic Vista thinning really worth the life loss? So it might seem like it's only worth it for the thinning, but Prismatic Vista is a dual land in this deck where you can either get Forest or you can get basic wastes. And Vista is the only fetch land that can get basic wastes. And so these are effectively dual lands here. That's a good one. Do I Rancor the Thought-Knot Seer? I think so. Oh, Fatal Passage, that's true. Yeah. Evolving Wilds. Man, this deck is so sick. What did they get? Does it even matter? Sort of Hearth and Home again. How can you beat Ragavan turn 1? Well, on the draw, you're probably going to take a hit from Ragavan, but Strangleroot Geist, Endurance, Matter Reshaper are all really good at blocking. You also have Dismember, you have Gut Shot for especially Sideboard games on the draw. You don't lose if you get hit by Ragavan, though. I played 3 matches with this deck last night. I beat Black-Red Ragavan, Blue-Red Ragavan, and then I lost a close one to Blue-Red Ragavan. But I did feel pretty favored in the matchups overall. So I know my opponent has Solitude here. I think I'm just Geisting and attacking with everything. They're in a Solitude, Hearth and Home mystery card, so if that mystery card is not a white source, they're a white card, they're not that good. Or they're not in very good shape here. Yeah, as far as like the Dimir dress down deck, people like have been suggesting splashing for all of those cards lately, but it's like I don't know how you find room for like these like 12 cards you're like wanting to splash for. I don't think that it makes your mana worse. It probably increases your power level, but I just don't know like how you find the room, you know. Okay, my opponent forgot about Trample on Reality Smasher, so we're going to match 2. Lockhart gifting a 5-pack, which usually comes with a zombie deck tech attached to it. Man, the deck is also just like feeling very consistent too, which I'm pumped about. Then let's also just get this down here. Second Temple, hell yeah. Rhinos again, so we can maybe get to test the matchup a second time. I don't think that this matchup's very good though. Don't play Bitter Blossom in Modern. Or at the very least I can't recommend it. I guess I'll Stirrings. We really need to hit an Eldrazi here. Okay, we did. So next turn we can attack for 8 with Smasher. So if they double block, it kills both Rhinos. Might be able to race. Dude, I miss Once Upon a Time. Dude, Rockbound gifting a sub to Prince. Awesome. Is Prince in the chat? I think we're in the same time zone. Yeah, attack plus Rancor for 8. Fury. Kill both my guys. Okay, I'm not that worried. Matter Reshaper has a trigger. Abundant Harvest. We're gonna see. We played Red Black basically like for 2 full streams this week. I'm probably not doing any more today. Alright, looks like we're playing a defensive Smasher. I haven't thought about red green. I mean, people have been playing red green Eldrazi. People have been playing mono red 2 with Monkey. I think that this is better. I think that the 8 Hierarchs are like 8 Hierarchs, 8 cantrips. It feels like a really good formula to me. Strangleroot Geist is also great. Strangleroot Geist is a great modern card. You heard it here first. I mean, I know I can play the Strangleroot Geist, and I can't if I do this, but I think I'm going to hope to get a little lucky here. And then next turn I can go Geist with Rancor, so it can trade for a Rhino. Possibly I was supposed to... No, I couldn't have Rancored and Hierarched and attacked. Okay, no Violent Outburst is really good for us. Yeah, next turn I didn't realize this was coming off suspend this turn. I thought it was next turn. Okay, we're probably dead. Yeah. Yeah, again, this matchup's not great. And that's fine.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring.
At chest, 100 bits. Believers are in shambles. I do really like that you can Ancient Stirrings and dig for your sideboard cards in this matchup. And like Thought-Knot Seer, some disruption potentially, but they seem to be pretty favored. This hand looks great though. Oh man, I love this hand. Terrific. I did a deck tech at the beginning of the stream. You could get a more in-depth thing here, but like the general idea is that this deck gets to play better cantrips because it's playing Stirrings, Abundant Harvest instead of Oath of Nissa, and I was pretty underwhelmed by Oath of Nissa, where like a lot of times I found myself wanting a creature, finding a land, or wanting a land, finding a creature. But Stirrings, or at least Harvest, always finds you the one you want. Stirrings is probably worse than. I guess we're taking the Reshaper here. Stirrings is probably a bit worse than Harvest in this deck. I've been really liking Harvest. But it's also true that the threats of this deck are an upgrade to like Predator Ooze, Hex Drinker, in my opinion. And that was like the big problem with the mono green deck, was like particularly Predator Ooze and Hex Drinker just didn't feel good. Alright, so let's see if we find a sideboard card. We don't. Gonna have to win this one fair and square. Illusions gifting a sub, awesome. Anything I considered that didn't make the deck? Yeah, I thought about playing more cantrips, also playing Oath of Nissa, but 8 ended up feeling like a good number to me. I thought about playing more Dismembers. I thought about still playing Hex Drinker, but I just really am off of Hex Drinker at the moment. I think those are the main cards that didn't end up making the cut. Thanks for the gifted sub, Illusions. So we do get to attack for a very, very key 8 here with the Smashers. So if they double block with their Rhinos, they lose both of them. Although I guess they can block with a Rhino and a Shardless Agent. Let me just do non-land here. Matthew, 25 months. Thanks, buddy. Alright, down. I've also been like so impressed by Rancor in both this and like the other like mono green Stompy deck. Rancor has just been a house and a half. Just got here was this deck. Yeah, this is a brew of mine. This is a brew I've been kind of thinking about it for a couple days. I finally got around to testing it last night, and I'm really pumped about it. Steel Leaf Champion's terrible. Don't play Steel Leaf Champion. I'm sorry. Steel Leaf Champion is not a playable modern card. What do I replace Endurance with? Probably Steel Leaf Champion. I don't know. I don't know. The Endurances feel pretty important to me. But like, Steel Leaf Champion is probably a fine budget option for this deck, but I really wouldn't recommend the card in general. Yeah, Rite of Harmony seems pretty sick. I'm gonna write a little preview about it for Channel Fireball. Rancor on Matter Reshaper seems kind of risky. It's all this open mana. But I guess if we do this, and they kill it, we get the Matter Reshaper trigger, and then my opponent's not going to be able to, I mean, let's just go for lethal. My opponent's not going to be able to Violent Outburst. I mean, if they Violent Outburst here, like, they have to block. If they have Petty Theft, they have Petty Theft. They do. Which stinks. So we lose the second Rancor. Anonymous Gifter, thank you for that. I'm not sure if I'm blocking this Rhino or not. We'll see. I just want to get the Rancor on the Reshaper before they can respond with another removal spell. A tier 2 sub to Chief. More Rhinos. I feel like this deck, I mean, this is the second time we lost to this matchup today, and I feel like this, with all the sideboard cards, I feel like we should be winning a bit more, but I also think their deck lines up really well against ours, which is fine. Save a Dismember for the Rhino block. Yeah, we might be able to cheese with that. But I think here I might have to block, right? Oh jeez. Yeah, this is maybe just a matchup you have to dodge. No attack with that Rhino, at least. They left in Force of Negation too, which feels bad. We take this hit. That's a good one. So we get the Thought-Knot Seer, their other Force of Negation. And then we go... I mean, I really wish we could go Rancor, Dismember a blocker here. Maybe I'll just go Rancor on both of my... both on the Strangleroot Geist. Is dodging 7% of the mana easy? I mean, every single deck has like one really bad matchup for the most part, right? I'm also not saying this mono green Eldrazi deck is definitely going to be like the new hot thing in the metagame, but it is fine to have a bad matchup like this. I could put one Rancor on Thought-Knot Seer, one Rancor on Geist. I could go Rancor on Geist, Dismember a Rhino. It's really awkward that this is going to attack me down to 8, though. I just can't let 2 Rhinos come through. The problem with both on Geist is my opponent can just take the hit. Brazen Borrower, attack me down to 8, and then I have to trade both Seers for 2 Rhinos, right? If I do that, and then the problem with that is they get to, you know, draw 2 cards, but I guess it assumes my opponent just, if my opponent goes, you know, that's probably going to be have to be how we win this game, right? Is my opponent bricks on those cards. What happened to me playing Eldrazi? I like to play lots of different things. I always like to innovate and try new stuff. You know, and if you think I only like to play Archmage's Charm, that's not accurate. It's like a little accurate, but it's not 100% true. Can I play Hammer Time next? You need to suggest the pet deck of yours or the deck you want me to play in between leagues. You're supposed to spam it, and I'm supposed to ignore it. That's the way we do things around here. And then mean comments that are inside jokes go to YouTube, and then real mean comments go to TikTok, where you can do a little dance and say something particularly hurtful. That's the where you're supposed to file these kinds of things. Yeah, it's like 80% true that I only like to cast Archmage's Charm and Counterspell. But I really like to try new things. I'm really excited about today's deck. Sexy comments go. You keep those to yourself. Wow, that's a really weird attack. Makes my Dismember really good. That is such a hard draw. Okay, so this is an incredibly difficult turn, right? So we can go Rancor Seer, attack with everything. Oh, I guess we could do that, and they're dead. They're dead if they don't have anything, anyways. Yeah, they're still dead to that if they don't have anything. So I think it's better to Thought-Knot Seer because we get attacked with the Strangleroot Geist too. So I think it's better to cast this first, because this way we can play around things, you know. One Rancor, then Dismember in combat. Well, I think we're supposed to cast this first, because like that line plays around nothing, but this line also beats nothing. So I think we're supposed to try to play around something. Hey Bada, good morning. Man, I'm so pumped for this deck. Which deck is liking me the most these days? Well, today I'm really, really excited about this one. In general, the black-red mid-range deck. But today, boy, I'm pumped for this. So they did have something. No, my opponent's not dead, are they? Because I can't Rancor and Dismember. I think I'm just supposed to. I mean, they're gonna double block though. One Rancor attack with both. I mean, they'll easily double block this, right? They'll easily double block this and put one Rhino here. No attacks. No attacks is interesting. Yeah, I think I like no attacks. I don't think their attacks are very good. This has been a really interesting turn. I think I like no attacks. Double Rancor 1, swing with 1. That could be good. That could be. I don't hate that line either. I think I'm gonna commit. I'm committed to this on the beginning of combat step. Doing anything for Labor Day? I'm laboring, working. Could be a normal day for me. Grinding this trophy race. Their attacks are amazing. Since every trade they make draws them a card. I mean, their attacks are a little bit less amazing because I've got the Dismember. Okay, so they're not playing Bone Crusher Giant, so they've drawn something else. But this right now kills them, right? Block here, block here. Yeah, they're just dead to this. I think they're dead to. Yeah, they should be dead here. We just dismember the Rhino that so they're gonna go chump here, double block, or Rhino here, double block here, block one. We dismember the one that they block on the only one creature on. What a game. This deck has been like also feeling really powerful to me too. Really hard game to navigate. Definitely not my like usual forte. Yeah, we were pretty cold to Violent Outburst there. Not much to do about that. Alright, maybe we could draw a sideboard card this game. Red Green Prowess, Rancor Harvest, maybe Traverse could be a thing. That's like too many like dirtily things in Prowess, you know. You really need to be a little bit faster in that deck. What a title bait. I mean, I feel like I could have clickbaited it way harder. I have a very honest title here. A very honest and very cool title for a very cool deck. We have a sideboard card this game and a temple. Don't have any creatures, but maybe they'll come. You want to thin. Bolt the birdie, 15 months. Appreciate ya. Thanks, Todd. Mono green control. No, don't ice me. Let's find Chalice. I mean, what are you gonna do, huh? They don't have a land! Let's freaking go! Got a third Force of Negation? I didn't think so. Let's freaking go, dude. Nice Steam Vents. And don't have a Prismatic Command, please. I wasn't talking trash. So now if they Prismatic Command, their lands are tapped. Mono green control! Mono green prison! Mono green prison. I should update the title. Let's go! Yes! Let's freaking go. That matchup seems bad. Alright, deck's bad. Control hands without lands. Keep this, put back Vista Harvest, probably. Do you only play competitive Modern, or do you dabble in other formats or even more casual decks? What I focus on this channel is brewing and trying to like innovate, sometimes on existing strategies, sometimes on new strategies, in Modern specifically. But if I do develop interest in other formats, you know, I'll play those. There was a while I was focused on Pioneer here. But specifically, my goal is to like be trying new things and trying to innovate in Modern. Yeah, we do have the nut draw. Oh, but they have the perfect answer. The perfect answer. That's the perfect card of this matchup. I think I'm choosing land. What's the reason of mono green instead of green X? If you're splash a color, you don't get to play Strangleroot Geist, and Geist is cracked. Strangleroot Geist is so good. And you also don't get to fully maximize the value of 8 Hierarchs. 8 Hierarchs is really, really good. Excuse me. I think I'm coming down with like a bit of a cold from, you know, like not sleeping. Yeah, 8 Hierarchs is really, really good, and the 8, I like the 8 cantrip formula too with Harvest and Stirrings. I think I want to get the. I mean, I can just go. I can go Hierarch Smasher them for 7, but I kind of feel like this matchup's all about the card advantage, baby. Let's go. Yeah, you could play Cavern of Souls. I'm still like working on the mana base a bit. I don't think that you want them. I think that with the Strangleroot Geist and Endurances and the Hierarchs, they're going to be awkward. Although you can, you know, name the type you need, of course. But I think generally they're just not going to be that good. I guess I'm interested in a Thought-Knot Seer here. Why did you kill Teferi? I don't get to draw a card if I attack Teferi. Teferi isn't really doing that much here. I'd rather draw a card than kill Teferi. Take that trade every day of the week. They might have an instant speed Verdict here. Yeah. Which is fine. Yeah, they have a backup Teferi. I think I take the Factor Fiction. Could have maybe taken the Charm. Gotta be a Smasher. Oh no, Charm can steal. So they probably Prismatic Ending my Hierarch and hold up Charm here because they know about the Smasher. Cavern of Souls makes your Strangleroot Geist and Endurance and Hierarchs a lot worse. Your Hierarchs don't share a creature type either, which is a big problem. You could play them though. You could play Cavern, I think. I think that the mana is a lot smoother without them, and I'm not like I think that you probably have fine matchup against control anyways. You got these sideboard chokes. But if I'm wrong and like the matchup ends up feeling really bad or something, then maybe I'll change my tune. The Chalice on 1. I do have a ton of 1-drops in the deck. Oh, they're Prismatic Ending. Alright, let's just Atom Smasher. How's Rhinos and John? I haven't played against John. I assume we probably have a good matchup though. Rhino seems like a bad matchup, but we did beat it this league. We got sideboard cards, you know. Got some game. Can win fairly if you win the die roll too, I think. So what I'm saying is Chalice, Force of Negation, Mystery card. So I think I'm gonna go to Strangleroot Geist attack. Kinda wanna play around them top decking the Verdict a bit. Did I use the first Teferi? They legend rolled it. They did use it. They're drawing 2? They have to draw like exactly Prismatic Ending, right? Maybe they already had Prismatic Ending. Alright, big congrats to them. They can't use that Misty Rainforest either. Yeah, Smasher is like a pretty hard card to deal with right now. And like when I was playing a bunch of the other mono green deck, like I just kept feeling like, man, do I... Oh no, I turned on the Misty for them. Huh. But I just kept feeling like I wanted another hasty threat. Yeah, I don't think it's that big a deal. I think I still play this. Can we outrace Mill a lot of time? I would assume so. We're also not like that cold to Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I would not assume that Mill is a bad matchup. What can my opponent even have here? K-Chap, 2 months, appreciate ya. They can't have that much, but I think I will go ahead and Toski here to play around Verdicts. Because that's like, they really have to have like Verdict or Cryptic tap. Draw 2. Let's go. Game 1. We multiplied this game, chat. Toski carried us. Literally carrying us, bruv. I think my opponent will board out Chalice. Chalice is pretty good against me. Might trim a Stirrings. Don't play a Force of Vigor. I'm kind of interested in a Force of Vigor. I like the Endurance as a flash creature too. Play one Force of Vigor over Rancor 4. Seems fine. Man, these hands have like look so good to me too. The deck is feeling really consistent. Let's freaking go. Man, I'm so pumped for today. So I was working on my article last night. Do I just take a third Smasher? Probably. Nah, I'll take a Seer. Really wish I could cast the Seer this turn. I was working on my article last night, and so like I mean I've been thinking about this deck for a little bit, and I just decided to take a break from the writing and put this deck together, and I just played it last night and it felt so good, and I made some improvements from last night's version, and I don't know, I just like went to sleep excited for the stream, you know, excited to show off the new deck. It's always a good feeling. I should probably try to play around Verdict a bit. I can also just hit them for 6. Since Toski's our only card draw engine, can we have one more to the sideboard? Yeah, I think you could play a second Toski in the sideboard. But, I mean, is Toski better than Choke in this matchup? Maybe. That's something you're going to want to try to figure out. They do have the Supreme Verdict. They also have a bunch of counter spells and a bunch of extra Teferis. But, I mean, we definitely take that. I think if I'm attacking for 1, it's probably worth it to kill a Teferi. If I received any hate for not taking the other day off. I didn't receive any hate, no. I was honestly, like, pretty conflicted, but I think people are sympathetic to the fact that, like, this is the most important time to, like, be working in my career, you know? And, like, I really don't feel like I can afford to take days off at the moment. We definitely talked about it. I think I'm choosing land here. Hands all gas, no breaks. And then with that handful of counter magic, I think I'm going for a Smasher. Maybe main deck 1 Cavern, side 1 Cavern. Maybe, yeah. I think that there's a lot of options, and of course, like if you're interested in this deck list, I can't do everything by myself. You gotta help me with the testing. But I'm also not sure how what you cut, because I feel like I want 4 Forest, I want the 4 Vista, I want the Wastes. So it's like maybe you can cut like a Vista for a Cavern. You can cut a Forest too, probably, but I think the mana like feels pretty smooth this way. Is Ignoble a better Hierarch in this deck considering Dismember got shots? Yeah, Ignoble is like a little bit better, but I wouldn't overthink the fact that it can tap for the Phyrexian spells too much. They're mostly colorless spells in this deck. Haxolt, 3 months, appreciate ya. Glad that you're liking the stream, buddy. So I don't want to play the Smasher into the counter spell we know about. I think I'll go ahead and play this Matter Reshaper first, which I doubt that they're going to counter. And then just play a Hierarch, which I also doubt that they're going to counter, and just not play the Thought-Knot Seer and blank their mana. We have, I think, 12 days left in the race. And we found a great deck to grind with here. Only 3 removal spells. Yeah, like you're like endurance is like a really good answer to like a lot of creatures in the format, but this is also a green aggro deck. You don't need to be full of removal spells. I think you're usually pretty happy to draw the first Dismember, which is why I'm not playing any more than just 1 copy. I mean, if they counter my Smasher, they're just dead to the Reshaper. Yeah, they could theoretically have Solitude. That is true. So now I think we Thought-Knot Seer first, because we can cast both because we have the Oasis now. Stream Decker's down. Yeah, it does that sometimes. Sorry. I'll post a list to Twitter I think later on today. Might end up making some changes over the course of the stream, so I wanted to wait on it. I was worried about Chalice of the Void because we have like 22 1-drops, so I brought in 1 Force of Vigor. We saw that they are playing Chalice. Let's go. 3-0. Mono green Eldrazi. This deck feels a lot stronger than the mono green Stompy deck. This hand's probably keep on the play. Be nice to find a temple off the stirrings. Interesting. Be nice to just draw a temple for turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer. It's the Jund Coco deck. Questing Beast, a good answer to Confinement. Yeah, that's I like right now. I am like just we have 4 Force of Vigor for Enchantress. Actually, I'm not that worried about it. Good draw. Surprised they discarded the Peatland. I think I'm just gonna go Hierarch. I can Dismember. I guess I don't attack because then they just block and then they unearth, which I don't want to happen. And I could Endurance pitch Stirrings, but I think I'd rather just like get use out of my spells when that puts me out of gas. I love Abundant Harvest in decks like this where like you usually for your draw step really just want to draw like almost any spell or almost any land. It lets you play less lands than you would otherwise too, and so your top decks are on average better in a deck like this than they would be in other decks like this. That's a good one. Although if I Reality Smasher, I can't Endurance. I mean, Smasher's so good here, but I mean their hand seems to be kind of weak. I guess they probably have Coco here, but. I think they're gonna chump block the Spyro and then Unearth, so I want to be able to get some value with the Endurance, so then we can smash her next turn. And if they don't have Coco, we're just in good shape. I ended up buying like this Dismember, these lands for the deck today because I really wanted everything to look nice for today's stream. No Coco, awesome. Thanks, Timmy. Alternate deck list? Oh, thank you. Really nice of you to do that. For the Stream Decker being down, if you want to find the deck list, Arcbound Twerker's got you. About retro frame Ignoble Hierarchs, a bit too pricey. I thought about buying like the old border vistas too. I thought that those would look really good. Eddie the Intern gifting 2 subs. That's nice of you. Is that for a deck tech? I could have dismembered the Hierarch in response, but I think if they minus here, that's fine. Can kill this with Smasher next turn. Main deck Endurance might be the way. Yeah, we are main decking for Endurance, or I guess that's what you're hinting at. Gutshot is very good against the Ragavan Hierarch. Skelemental deck. What do we want to cut though? Just an idea for different elementals lists. Let me take a look. What do we want to cut here? I'm not sure. Definitely part of learning sideboarding with a new deck. Draw the draw. Y4 Force of Vigor. Hammer Time is like a really hard matchup if you don't have like a bunch of Force of Vigors and gut shots. Probably cut a Stirrings when we bring in a couple of bricks. Maybe cut a land on the draw. Okay, cut the Toski. Let's cut the Toski on the draw. I would try to stay away from Smoke Braider and Incandescent Soulstruck. These cards are pretty fragile in general. Yeah, I'm trying to. So you have one Fling for your big Nova Chaser, but yeah, I feel like these cards are very, very fragile. I don't think that these are creatures that you want to be in on in general, but if you want to do a more budget version because you don't have as many endurances, I would probably just lean more heavily on like the 4-mana Omnath. That's you know, yeah, I would just lean more heavily on the Omnaths. I don't think either of those are that expensive. Yeah, I don't think I would play any of like the Timbermare, Nova Chaser, Soulstroke, Smoke Braider. Turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer with a Gut Shot. Can maybe play a third Gut Shot. The card's been pretty good so far. I do have a soft spot for your Shard. I'd have to think more about it if I could recommend it though. Dusk Elemental is very cool, but I'm just not sure when you would want to play that either. Those of you who hate losing to Ragavan, play more Gut Shots. Conspiring by, good username. I'm pretty happy if my opponent spends their next turn fulminating me. And I don't want to take 7 and then 7 from the Skelemental. So I think I'll take one of those and then discard Geist Hierarch if they Skelemental me. And then attack just to hit them back for 9. Possibly have a strong combo plan, a Risen Reef value plan at the same time. Oh, them drawing Bolt is not ideal. But I think we have got a good chance to race the Skelemental because that's just their last card. What am I discarding? Smasher, probably just Smasher Hierarch. Hexdrinker versus Geist, what do I think is better? Well, obviously I think Geist is better, right? Because I'm playing Geist and not Hexdrinker. But I was playing a lot of the other mono green Stompy deck, as I'm sure as you might know, I was playing a different version for a while, and I was really unimpressed by Hexdrinker. Like, especially with Prismatic Ending entering the format, that card is not one I'm that interested in playing. So we can actually activate Oasis next turn. Can you afford to cut Graveyard Hate in this meta if you have Cascade Hate for Living End? It depends on the deck. Depends on the deck. But Strangleroot Geist is really resilient to removal. It's a haze creature in your aggro deck. This card is really, really good right now. I was basically always happy to draw Strangleroot Geist. I think I'll fetch here. Okay, I was going to be dead to another Skelemental, but I guess I'm not anymore. Yeah, also very good with Rancor, for sure. Rancor's been really impressive, too. How often is it a problem that you play 5 color sources for Geist? I mean, I haven't played... This is my 7th match with the deck, but it hasn't come up yet. Oh, that's a top deck. It hasn't come up yet. I don't expect it to come up that often, where... you have 5 colorless sources, but you also have a Yavimaya. You also have a lot of Hierarchs. You have a lot of cantrips to enable consistency. I don't think it's a big deal. Rancor would be pretty good. Can't cast a Smasher. Sideboard cards, Demir thing against elementals. You have a bunch of main deck dress downs, which are pretty good against them. I think your matchup's like slightly favored. I think I would just recommend playtesting it a bunch, and you'll probably be okay. After you figure out the ins and outs to the case. Have we cracked an Oasis? I did. I think we've done it once today, and I did it a bunch last night. Do we have lethal with Oasis? Oasis doesn't give trample. 4 and 0, I think. Let's maybe not count our chickens yet. Chickens counted. Let's go. Dude, I'm so pumped. I'm so happy we're here. Playing for 5-0 with a new brew on a Friday. Gigantha the Wellspring. I probably would have mulliganed to a somewhat faster hand, assuming that this is Tron. This is a much faster hand. I probably put back the second Hierarch. Noble is a bit, or Ignoble is a bit better because we have a Dismember in the deck. Yeah, I know that the relationship is not a healthy one at all. I'm joking when I say that me and Esther are like Mr. Leahy and Randy. A joke has been told. Yes, they do not have a healthy relationship. And now the joke has died because I've had to explain it. Tron, thanks for the raid. Appreciate you. Tron Walker rating right as we're playing against Tron for the 5-0. Come to help us or sabotage us, perhaps. But we do have a very good hand against them. Probably a bit cold to a Worm Coil Engine on turn 3. Yeah, the Snoop Dogg season was really good. Basic Forest! Let's go! Oh, man. Okay. Though it exiles! Oh, no, I didn't... That's a lot worse for us. And we drew, like, maybe the worst draw. Maybe we should have Rancored and played Hierarch. I think we'll be okay. I hope we'll be okay. That's me later, Prost. I'm kind of trying to focus. I don't know. You'd have to cut the drowns, right? It would be what you'd have to cut, but I don't know that that's necessarily the best plan. Yeah, that can give me my Colorless Source, which I have been lacking this game. Man, that Warping Whale was devastating. We do get them for 5 down to 8. It's gonna be a hard game to win, maybe. We draw Smasher. We do have 3 Collector Ouphes to bring in, and then we can consider Force of Vigor. We can consider Void Mirror as well. Zoe, thank you for 7 months. Appreciate ya. Yeah, we might be getting Ugin here. Okay, hold. Prost gifting a 5-pack. Getting the hype going. So they might search of a Blast Zone here. Yeah, Oasis is also lethal. Oasis, Smasher. Rancor puts them to 1. Thought-Knot Seer is not a bad draw. So I guess we're going to Dismember after blocks, probably. That was pretty gross, though. Toby also gifting a 5-pack. A lot of hype. Harvest, good top deck. Sure is non-land. So do I want this trade to happen? I kind of don't mind this trade. Because I can put the Rancor on the Endurance, which is more damage for next turn. Yeah, also lets us play around a sweeper a little bit, but we're not beating an Ugin this game probably. Oh, actually, our deck's not that bad against Ugin. We have a lot of colorless cards. Do we need to pressure their life? I mean, we get like the same amount of extra damage next turn if we dismember the token. Okay, I'm gonna pack it in. We're probably not beating that either way. Bummer. That warping whale was so good. We do want these oofs. I'm gonna cut the Dismember, gonna cut the Toski, gonna cut an Endurance. Is it worth to play Void Mirror on the play? Probably not. I have kind of yet to see that card do anything against Tron. I might play some Force of Vigors on the draw. But, let's hope, huh? Is it Void Mirror against Tron? No, they can. It's like not that hard for them to just spend the green mana to cast to resolve their spells, right? You know, they just spend green. It doesn't counter their spells. If you do bring in Void Mirror against Tron or E-Tron, I do like it against E-Tron because they don't have nearly as many green sources. But if you do bring in Mirror, cut your Yavimaya. All right, that's a turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer. I might just put back Reshaper. Probably better to put back a Hierarch. Good clean hand from 2016. Well, we don't want Chalice on 1. We have 21 drops. Let's go. Let's go. Take their scrying. They found another scrying. That can Thought-Knot Seer their stirrings, but we're not super resilient to this Oblivion Stone. So this lets me attack for 6. Yeah, I think it's going to be very close whether or not we take the O-Stone or the stirrings here. Probably the O-Stone, right? Because the Ugin just doesn't do anything. It does stink for us that they drew the scrying, but whatever. Our draw's been very good. Yeah, they still need to find the power plant and they need to find something else because the Ulamog's probably not going to be a card till turn 5. So they go and play the mine, and then they play the stirrings. Immediately put power plant into their hand, but Ugin doesn't save them next turn. So their hand is currently Ulamog, Ugin, power plant, mystery card. I'm gonna save the star for next turn. All right, that's more damage. Just gonna put all my creatures on the board, turn them all sideways, and relax. They can't Ulamog me next turn. Ugin doesn't save them. They need Worm Coil or Oblivion Stone. Really no reason for them to cycle there. I guess it's not a huge reason not to, right? They have something. They gut shot themselves. I mean, they have Oblivion Stone as an out. What the hell? Aren't they just still dead? Oh, did they do that for Bridge? Yeah, they're still dead. Right block here, take lethal. Were they dead? Yeah, they would go to 1 without the gut shot themselves. Tron players, I guess. I don't know. I'm not gonna. Yeah, just gonna kill him. I think that they were just kind of like salty conceding, you know. Then they took the draw step and realized they had like 7 outs, you know. I think I'll play one Force of Vigor on the draw over the third Endurance. This hand's pretty close. My opponent kept 7. I probably have to keep. I could try to mulligan to Ouphe. I think I should keep. We have a very aggro hand. It's not probably going to be fast enough to race like a lot of reasonable Tron draws. Harvest isn't bad here. Maybe they're trying to gut shut the Hierarch and mispaid. Maybe, I don't know. My opponent has not kept a turn 3 Tron hand this whole match. Maybe they've kept another kind of awkward hand. I mean, Gutshot's definitely good at this matchup. If they have, Gutshot, natural Tron into stuff, good for them. I think I harvest for a land here. Might be better to Stirrings. Yeah, because if we hit exactly Temple, it's a bit awkward. But we're not that likely to hit Temple. And then we also have 2 Smashers in our hand. Don't think I'm that bothered. And they also have Gutshot into Tron, into Karn. Oh, it's a Wormcoil. Which is not beatable, chat, unfortunately. No Copium. I'll play it out. Okay, never mind. We drew our out. I'll play it out, but let's, not pretend like we're in this. The deck is feeling great though. Alright, done. Gonna run it back, I think. Open the chest at least. Pretty poopy chests. Thanks for the confidence, IRF.